Hello, my name is Alan. My pronouns are he, him, and tonight I'm running facilitating the second of second, third. I'm losing track. I'm running a session of um, my own game, The Cluster. And You want to know more about the series? Then go back and start session one. This game was organized as part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community's monthly calendar. If you want to know more about the Open Hearth, then please type Open Hearth Gaming Community into your search engine of choice, and you'll find a website which will tell you all about us. We have we have a Patreon and podcasts, but most of our activity is playing online like this with people from around the world. On this occasion, I think those of us within the British Isles outnumber the foreigners. But Brandon is tuning in from the former colony of America. Um, so, with little ado, um, previously on, does anybody want to give me a snippet to go into our previously on the cluster? I'm just asking, no pressure. I'll count to 10 and then I'll move on.
Previously on the cluster, the ragtag bunch of heroes embarked on a mission for the Hub Authority to recover MG1MF from a stricken Hub freighter. The team recovered that, but inadvertently let loose on their ship a toxin which affected Keel and may still be loose within the ship. We recovered the item back to the Hub Authority, and as we handed over the item, the metal flower, the Guild of the Metal Flower turned up and asked Gort to remove the item, and that's where we left it off.
I think that's a pretty good previously. I'm not going to
Yeah.
go any further with that. So, yeah, that's where we opened then. Shabby office. It's not within the Ringate Authority building. It's you were employed by a broker as the middleman. Slightly weedy man in a bad suit, in a kind of office on the upper floor of a kind of mall, on the Ringate station. And as I say, as you described, the Guild of the Metal Flower, who are well, Tees, do you want to try and tell us something about the Metal Flower because you created them?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, Guild of the Metal Flower, we talked about them being sort of, they're not seen because they're everywhere kind of group, in that they're a group of engineers who keep the lights on for everybody. And one of the ways that they ensure their position is that there are certain secrets about how they keep the lights on for everybody that they don't tell people. Yeah.
That works. That works. And so yes, Jameson, the rep, uh, pushes the door open, a hulking bodyguard behind him, and says to Gort, "Come on, Gort, bring the machine, bring the device." Because Gort, you are in debt. You are loyal to the Metal Flower.
I'm loyal to the Metal Flower.
Remind us why?
They rescued me from my world where I was left for dead. So yeah, they rescued me from the Sword Worlds, the actual home world being Gladius, a patchwork world where I was left for dead, and they rescued me and healed me back to life and equipped me with all this awesome equipment.
Which is you used to work for them as a mercenary, I think, before
Yep.
leaving that to join the crew, but you are still significantly in debt. So what do you do, Gort?
I will apologise to my colleagues and say this shouldn't take too long?
One moment, Gort. Sorry. Look,
Yeah.
listen. So is Jamison is the Guild of the Metal Flower representative?
He is.
And what's the name of the representative from? I think it's from the Hubble Authority, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's the broker who brokered the job. Dixon.
Dixon. Okay.
Dixon.
Yeah.
Look, you know, we've invested a lot of time and heartache to retrieve this, to hand it over to Dixon. Jameson, would you just mind waiting 30 seconds so that we can hand it to them, and then you can get the
Mr. Jameson seems happy with the situation.
No, but Dixon, but it belongs to Dixon. And I'd like to hear what he has to say about this.
I think Dixon is looking very worried. He's a weedy middle manager. He's a broker working at the kind of slightly dodgy end of the brokerage system. That's why he got you. And because you're just scraping by. And he is clearly doing the calculation that says, hang on, I just cleared payment via the RGA from the RGA via me to these guys' account, and now this guy has appeared and told this big bloke to pick up the device and hand it over to him. So I think
basically steal it from right in front of his face and hand it over.
He's kind of calculating. He can't see how he comes out of this well, because he's in no position to interfere. You know, he kind of
I say I'm going to say to Jameson, I say I know you've got a close relationship with Mr. Gort, but if you're going to steal this device, then you should do it yourself.
I will point out the other large burly man in the room.
Well, look.
Again, yes, but it's a question of culpability, Gort.
I
mean, if you take it from this fellow, it's then you've implicated us all in theft, and I'm not going to stand for that.
Well, let's consider the rules around factions and debt and favor. Yeah.
You do owe them a debt.
If a faction asks you to do something for them, if the crew member is loyal to the faction, they say if they do what is asked and on completion of the task erase the debt that was called in, or gain a favor if they don't have a debt. Yeah.
Yep.
If a player character who is loyal to a faction turns them down or refuse to do what is asked and either spend a favor they owe to remain in good standing or accept being marked as a traitor and accepting a change of relationship to betrayed.
That ain't gonna happen. You all owe them a debt.
This could be a question of whether you can all negotiate a debt out of them.
I don't care to have a warrant. Sorry,
you do
sorry, I don't care to have a warrant sworn out on my head right now at this moment for a brazen theft from a broker of the authority. No way.
Duly logged. Thank you.
So what are you going to do, Serena?
If it looks like this is going down, I'm going to leave. I said, this is on you. I don't condone this.
Okay. Gort, any chance of spending that favor to get out of this?
No, because I get very little out of it. So no, that favor's remaining. Yeah.
Okay. What you will get out of this is that debt will go from 3 to 2. Keel, any response to this?
I mean, I guess Keel was trying to essentially hustle / manipulate.
Let's see if that works then.
Yeah. So, and with the outcome being that the flower, the metal flower, wait until we've left before they then steal it from this guy.
If they want to steal it from the broker, that's on them. I'm not going to participate.
Yeah. But I think Serena has made it clear Gort's is going to hand it over. So Serena leaves. Keel, let's try that manipulate move. Okay. Speak persuasively or impose your presence.
I'm trying to speak persuasively. It's like, look, this is all reasonable, and if you'd turned up 30 seconds later, then we wouldn't even be having this situation. So,
yeah, fine. So let's roll plus sincere then.
Plus sincere, +1. Oh, and that's 1, 2, +1. I'll roll 9. So that's all right.
That's a success. So 7+, it works, and you're at advantage to leverage your success with them. Okay, so on something like it's not as straightforward as you'd hope. The GM says if you feel guilty about manipulating them, I think that's unlikely. It's fleeting, it won't last long. I think that's unlikely with Jameson. There's a delay while you have to do something else the GM describes to fully win them over. It costs them or others something that matters now or later, and they won't forget. I think that Jameson looks at you and Gort and says, I'm sure Mr. Dixon won't object to handing this over. Gort, until next time.
Very well, until next time.
Dixon, and through Dixon the RGA, may now feel less well disposed towards you. Yeah? So yeah. I'd like you all to put, well, I'd like, the crew to put a debt to the RGA. Because whether you were there or not, sadly, Serena, you're going to be tarred with the brush as a member of the crew. And you leave and disappear back to wherever you're hanging out, or do you stay here and observe? Keel, what are you thinking?
I think Keel is going to not hang around.
Fine. Gort, going away.
I am going to hang around.
Yeah.
Okay. Down the corridor observing, or on the street outside, the kind of, it's on a space station, so on the promenade outside?
I think just down the corridor. I'd like to see what the RGA sort of power.
Well, remember, this is
it's a middleman, isn't it?
It's a middleman. It's independent broker. This isn't, he's going to have to report. He will report this up the chain. That's where the debt to the RGA comes. There's a kind of slightly raised voice, and then you hear something hitting a table. And there's a pause, and Jameson comes out of the room with his muscle carrying the MGF1N.
And I will say to Jameson, I take it you would not like me not to have overheard what went on.
Frankly, Gort, I don't care.
The other man has large connections. They could make it difficult for you.
Oh, I think they'll make it difficult for you, Gort. It would have been much simpler if your crew had been prepared to go.
Yes, yeah. Alas, they don't see the big picture.
So, what do you want to do?
I will go and see if the middleman's okay. Maybe give him a tissue for his nose if it's bleeding.
Yeah. It looks like somebody just pulled his face into the desk.
Yeah, I'll pat him on the shoulders and say, it happens. That's what they're like.
Yeah, but this is the RGA.
Well, that's what they're like. You should have known that.
Well, if I'd known you were connected to the metal flower, I wouldn't have given you the job.
You should have known that.
So, Serena, what do you want to do having left? What do you want to do with the rest of your shore leave, if anything?
Get into trouble. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the classic thing, right? I'm going to stomp off and get into trouble.
Fine. Now you've had your downtime moves for this visit, but yeah, certainly. So what does that mean for Serena?
It could mean drinking with the wrong company, placing an unwise bet or two. Whatever the getting into a fist fight with a stranger.
Drinking, gambling, violence, whatever it takes. And I'm assuming in one of those places where it won't cause a fuss, that's where people go to get drunk and blow off steam.
Yes. I'm not going to ruffle anybody's feathers here.
Yeah.
Or get into real trouble. I mean, I might get beaten up, but I'm not going to get arrested.
Okay. The spin gravity here means that there's a couple of decks in the middle of the structure where gravity is comfortable. And if you go down several decks, it gets slightly heavier. You go up several decks, it gets a little bit lighter. So, I think perhaps in one of these, there's quite an explosive fight, which shows that you can throw people about if you can get leverage in those upper dives.
That sounds good.
Keel, what about you? What do you want to do with this? Do you want to have a scene with another character, or do you want to be seen doing something?
Yeah, I thought I might have a chat with Gort, just because we have done those downtime rides, right?
Yeah.
So Keel is going to start with, Gort, how deep are you? Like, I'm an engineer. You know that I've come from the Guild of the Metal Flower, and I managed to get out scot-free, right? It took me a lot of work. How deep in are you?
Arm deep.
Look, they look all nice and, like they're helping everyone, but...
Oh, I've done some right evil stuff for them. They're not nice people.
How are we gonna
pay off the debt?
Have you got any? Have they come calling yet, or is
no,
it just
but
hanging over your head?
Meeting Mr. Jameson was a good lead. I feel. I'm going to seek him out, see if he's got any work for us.
Okay. I wish we had our talkie person with us.
True indeed.
I mean,
true indeed. But
you are our manipulator.
I'm the hustler. I thought I'm not. I get anyway. Well, look. Look. I know these peeps. You know them. Let's go together if we're gonna.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can get something good out of them. I'm confident.
There always seems to be some kind of thorn in the side of those particular roses.
We'll overcome any obstacles. That's for sure.
So, Brandon, has Brandon gone and come back?
He's going.
I think he's going off to sign in from. There we are.
So now he'll log off on the.
Okay.
Yeah, there he goes. Back in.
That was confusing then.
Thank you.
Hey.
I wasn't quite certain what was going on then. I'm always slightly nervous when I see two
from one platform to another.
There you go. You might have missed a bit of that then. So Keel and Gort are suggesting that you need to look for some work from the metal flower so that Gort can try to drive down this debt.
Yeah, I guess Keel is concerned that if Gort is so deeply indebted that's that could be a real problem for us.
It could be a real problem. All this has to do is happen again a couple of times and we'll be unemployable.
Yeah.
Not by the metal flower though.
If the metal flower cares to give us any jobs and not just screw you.
Yeah, they've never screwed me in the past. They've always paid.
So,
if they're the only employer in town for you, then they can give you whatever price they want.
No. I can work for lots of people. In fact,
not if the reputation gets around that you steal from your employers.
That's if it gets round. Let's deal with the current. It's perfectly fine.
Right now, it's going to be getting around, and
well, hang on. On the getting paid move, you chose to make it discreet. Yeah, it's not in that broker's interest to share this information, other than with his other client, i.e. the RGA. So as of now, this is not going to be widely disseminated. I mean, the RGA may decide to get back at you by disseminating it, but right now, it's cushy. So,
yeah.
So let's consider. I don't mind you having got Jameson's card and tracking him down, Gort, with Keel in tow. Find a paying job on the moves tab. What kind of job? Now, where are you at in terms of wealth at the moment? You are still just scraping by, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what job do you want?
Scrape and buy. We want a big payer.
Well, investigative job pays 4. Recovery or rescue pays 3, as did the last one. Salvage 2. Cargo run 1.
Is the advantage if you do a salvage job, is there more likely to have salvage, as it were, that we can make money out of as well?
Well, if you remember, when you were going through that hulk, the mining ship, you found one unit of transportable wealth. Now, you can't salvage in the formal sense because there was somebody aboard. Salvage usually means looking for something that is broken or lost.
But wouldn't the salvage job mean that that's been identified for us and our object is to get it back?
Well, I mean, let me just, did I put that down? Oh, I didn't. I thought I put in the definitions, a definition of what these different jobs mean.
It doesn't pay a lot.
It doesn't pay as much.
No.
Well, no, it's mostly cutting metal, in my experience.
So hang on a second. Jobs and job value. So salvage job, stripping a derelict or abandoned ship or habitat, or carrying out sufficient repairs to make it safe for specialist teams to bring it back online for legitimate owners. If the job is illegal, the work is for clients who don't own the ship or habitat. Recovery or rescue, bringing something or someone back to the client from where they tell you it can be found. If the job is illegal, it's the same job, but the clients who want you to steal stuff or kidnap someone. Yeah?
Yep. And then the investigative job?
Investigative job, finding the answer to the client's question about someone, something, or somewhere. If the job is illegal, it's likely to involve covertly stealing or extracting the answer for a client. Is not if a client is not legitimate and or answering commercially sensitive questions.
I mean, I can certainly imagine that the metal flower would be interested in gaining information.
Investigative job?
Pays well.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Where is the decider of illegal or not illegal?
That's a bit of a decider on the roll. If you have a look at the roll, it says You will get that job. But one of the crew rolls plus hospitality. 7 to 9 becomes clear once the contract is signed that it's too late to back out, that the job is not entirely legal. So it should be worth +1 to potential value on completion. Yeah. 10 plus, you say if it's legal or illegal, and therefore worth +1. On 6 minus, as for 7 to 9, but the GM also surprises and disadvantages the crew with an extra complication before the contract can be fulfilled. Yeah?
Make that roll.
Well, go on. Your Jameson's loyal operator, Gort. So let's if we roll 2d6 +1 for hospitality.
But our awesome fixer, before they left, did make the job worth. It gives us advantage on the roll, doesn't it?
They did. I forgot about that.
That's what we like.
So, 2 whites and a green, whatever you fancy, or 3 whites. Take a pick.
I was going to say the dice room looks slightly different, but let's give it.
Yeah, I got rid of all the dice that we don't use.
That's a fair one. 3 dice. Here we go. Oh, that's good. That's 8, 9.
9. Okay. Jameson is interested, Gort, in helping you out. He's a bit pissed off that he had to use his own muscle to get the MGF-1N, but on balance, he is prepared to describe a job for you. It's an investigative job down on Hub in Hub City. Yeah?
Yep.
Investigative job. But of course, Gort, I could just expect you to do this for us.
Indeed, but my colleagues wouldn't.
So the way this is going to work, Gort, is that you can cash in, you can get rid of 1 debt, yeah?
Yeah.
But it may be that a full payment is not possible on this occasion. That's my deal.
You can remove a quarter of the payment. I do need to eat, so I do need something.
He will reduce the wealth that you will earn by 1.
Now, tell us about the job.
Now, you will reduce debt to them from 3 to 2. Yeah?
Everybody on the crew can lose a debt?
No, this is between you and me, Gort. You're the one who, who owes me most and owes you are loyal to us, Gort. You're not kind of displaying an immense amount of loyalty at the moment.
But my colleagues, they would clearly be displeased if you don't do anything for them.
Well, I mean, I'm prepared.
At least give them an option to reduce payment.
I might be prepared to talk about that on completion.
Fair one.
Yeah. All we know for certain is that your share of this will not come through. But you will be erasing a debt. Yeah. Yes. This MGF-1N. We're interested. The reason we wanted it is we want to reverse engineer it. The RGA put this on several mining ships and sent those ships out into a variety of different systems. We're not at all sure what it's for or what it is, what it's capable of finding. It appears to be a sensor refinement. But if we can know what they're looking for, then that tells us something about their business practice. So we need to reverse engineer it, put it in a ship and see what it can find. Now, Keel, I will remind you that you know what it finds.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that collection of letters that we invented last time.
HCDA?
HCDA. So you already know something about this thing. You know it's psychoactive. And you know that the crewman who suffered from this has now been transferred to a medical facility in the docks. Now you know that. The metal flower doesn't appear to know that. Okay?
Yep.
So that's the deal. We want you to you clearly will have no chance of getting into the RGA mainframe. But we want you to break into an outstation. We can find you the address of that outstation. We want you to break in, get into the system, and hack the mainframe from that outstation and return to us with details of what the MGF-1N is for. Okay? Simple as that. I want to know what the MGF-1N is for.
What?
I want the evidence.
Why are you talking to Gort about this kind of operation? He's got no skills at all there. Our crew, to be honest, is much more effective at slightly more physical, shall I say,
breaking into some places physical.
Yeah, but
you're forgetting here, he says, Mr. Beckett. I'm doing this as a favor. I need a job done. You've come to me to ask for a job. I'm offering you a job. You can go elsewhere.
And I can get this job done, right? You know that I can get this job done, and I can see that this is, you know, this is how you're thinking about stuff. I just want you to know that, you know, I realize this isn't just, you know, coincidence that I happen to be, you know, part of this team that you're sending to you know, on this operation.
Let's put a bit of flesh on your relationship. Yeah, you lost somebody, didn't you?
Oh yeah, my brother. You'd think I'd be able to remember, wouldn't you? Oh no, it was my second, the guy that I was training up.
Yeah. It's going to salvage. Okay, living aboard ship, traveling wide and far, never in with. Okay, duties on the asteroids. Okay. And you are guilty about what you did. You fix everything and everyone. And you have no relationship with the metal flower, do you? So
I don't. I got out.
Yeah. So the only thing you have in common with Jameson is the company he works for is based in the same system where you originated. So he doesn't know you from Adam. But he says, this is the job that I have. Gort wants to work off his debt. I would encourage him to do that.
It's well within our capabilities.
It is well within my capability. All right. Gort, you know,
it's a good paying job.
It is a good paying job. I agree. And we need
and the ship's not going anywhere.
The ship's not going anywhere. We won't, you know, we'll only have to pay some, you know, dockage
berthing
or
fees.
Whatever, berthing fees. But yeah, I agree. Sounds dodgy to be right inside the RGA system and breaking into even an,
Doesn't sound dodgy. It is dodgy.
It is dodgy. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I guess this is where we're at. Thanks, Gort.
Any day of the week.
Okay. So, Serena, when we see you back aboard the ship, having cut loose and had a good time, what, how do you look? What's the after effects of this?
I think I have a bruise on one cheek. And my my uniform's kind of scuffed up. My uniform. I wear something that's still reminiscent, frankly, of a military uniform, but it's been modified sufficiently that it's not,
obvious.
It's not obvious. Yeah.
Fine. No one has seen Jade since the events in the office. Jade was very nervous about what happened, left with Serena. And there's a message left on the ship saying, I just need to spend some time away from you lot at the minute. Where are you going? And where shall I meet you? So I'm assuming you're going to tell her that you're heading down to Hub.
Yeah.
Okay. Clearly, the Razor can't make the atmospheric entry, but the shuttle is designed to do that. So aboard the shuttle and head down. The outstation that you've been pointed at is in the Low City. Now, Hub City is the part of the cluster that was least affected by the failure of the ring gates that cut these 7 systems off from a much larger civilization, or at least that's what the stories say. Maybe the thick end of 1,000 years ago. Hub is the place where technology was retained at the highest level, and it was the hub that began to reactivate, to learn how to activate the ring gates again, some 150, 200 years ago. And most of your societies have changed since then, either because you're the result of colonists planted on these planets because their original habitations, their original colonists didn't survive the fall, or you did survive the fall and your society has clambered back up to a certain level, or not, as the case may be. And Hub is stratified vertically. So at the top of these great towers is where the rich and famous can be found. This is where, and I'm just checking what we've set up as, what do we know? The RGA is a dynastic lineage. Yeah. So it's stratified. So the various dukes who rule the RGA, who run the RGA, occupy palaces at the top of these towers. And as you go down the tower, you move through bureaucratic white collar, blue collar, manufacturing, industrial bases. That's where the power supplies are. And below that, you go down into increasingly decrepit areas of the city. So these dark canyons who rarely see the light of day. And the system is implausibly rich in Goldilocks and garden systems. So Hub City is almost self-sufficient. One of those garden worlds is their agricultural base. There's another one where they maintain most of their industrial. And so Hub City is it's a playground for the rich, serviced by the poor. And what the details that Jameson has given you is that there is an RGA recruiting office down in the depths of one of these canyons. And it's really, nobody, the rulers of the RGA don't recruit people for proper jobs down there, but they do give them indentured servitude, what amounts to slavery in some of their factories, and some people are willing to take it because there's nothing else. So it's an outstation in as much as it's a downstation. Yeah. So Serena, we've kind of nominated you as mostly the pilot. You are given by traffic control, you're asked where you're going, and the response is Hub City. And where in Hub City, and you give an address, which is an area and a depth. Do you give them the depth you're actually going to, or do you seek to mislead them by saying that you've got business at a higher level?
Yeah, no, I want to. I want access to where we're going, but I'm not going to park in the parking lot right outside.
Okay, that's a much more concise way of answering the question than I tried to ask. So let's think about this. I think that this is taking the risk of being caught out here. Who's best? Or convince or compel? Yeah, I'll give you a choice. Convince or compel them by lying to them about some business you have in the mid-levels, or take the risk of telling them where you're actually going, but parking somewhere else, finding a pad somewhere else.
I mean, does that sound like something that a hustler would be able to convince and compel?
I think convince and compel. Deceive or mislead, roll plus shady.
Those are shady.
See, I'm no good at the shady. So
we
if
do
someone
some
else
awesome
wants to do that,
so they couldn't track us.
Oh, I think that's a non-starter. Hub is the technological heart of this place. The top of those buildings have plenty of missiles to defend it. So I think this is convince and compel with shady.
Yeah, you're the best at this, Gort.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You can lie with a straight face. Go ahead.
My face is too honest. Look at it.
That's honest.
This is Hub City Traffic Control. Where is your destination?
Level 63.
And your area, please.
Area Bravo 3.
Bravo 3, level 60 to 65. Let's see when they say, and nature of business, please. Razor's Edge, shuttle Razor's Edge.
Nature of the, it's a business meeting.
Okay, let's have you mislead them with that then, Gort. Roll plus shady.
Two dice.
Yep.
+1.
Yep.
9. That's good.
+1 is 10.
No,
it's
that included.
Oh, I see. Okay, right. Oh, yes, sorry, 8, I see. So on 7 to 9, you'll need to do something before they agree, such as sweeten the deal with cred. Might be a good time to talk about cred, actually. Sweat enough to take one emotional stress. Demonstrate any threat you've made is serious. That doesn't apply. Substantiate any lie. Have you got? I don't think you've got anything to substantiate the lie, have you?
Well,
No.
just we picked out a business, ahead of time where we might plausibly be, looking at their equipment or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to take the emotional stress because I have got my I'll take the emotional
Oh yeah,
stress.
sorry, I should have asked you to mark up the equipment you're carrying.
Okay.
So
Just six
three
things.
three ticks in the C column, but no need for a spacesuit this time.
No.
Pistol, Kevlar, and fake credentials. Pistol, paramilitary armor. That paramilitary armor will draw a lot of attention on Hub.
Okay. Is it always okay?
What about Keel?
Oh, yeah.
Never travel without a multi-tool.
No. I mean, I feel like, yeah.
My equipment seems designed to be hard to use.
Drone?
Or lack of anything better, yeah.
All right, you take your drone. I'll take my reminder of home.
Yeah, fine. Sorry, you were saying, Gort, fake credentials.
I've got or are they usable here?
Yeah.
If
you stress them, I will say that you have actually fixed up an appointment with somebody or appear to have.
Does that mean you can't use them again?
It means you'll be disadvantaged if you use them again.
I'll take the one stress.
Okay, fine. So a bit of sweat on the brow from Gort, as they push you a little bit, but in the end agree to give you a landing pad coordinate. And Serena, no, it's quiet flying,
Sure.
and you put down on this pad on level 60. The office of the RGA that you are seeking to reach is on level 28, 30 levels down. And that's in grey legal territory. Yeah. So who's most likely to be able to get where you're going without attracting any particular attention? Again, a fixer would be handy here, wouldn't it? But
it would.
Well, I think we need a plan.
We do need a plan. Are we talking about that tactician career move
Yes.
plan, for instance? Okay. When you name the crew, which can be include you involved in the plan, I'm going to all three.
We agreed to the GM, but we haven't agreed with the plan yet. I'm just saying it out loud so we can have something to agree with.
So describe what you hope to happen if the plan most relies on direct action or violence. I'm guessing not, but I don't know. Or stealth, distraction, or lies.
I'd love it to do direct action or violence, but that seems unlikely to be
successful. I think on Hub that might, particularly as you've landed in the mid-levels.
No. If this were many outlying worlds, that would be my smash and grab would be my thing.
Nicely,
but but not on Hub. So we're going to it'll be on stealth.
Okay, so that's roll plus shady. Describe what you hope will happen. So what if this plan goes well, what are the expectations?
That we'll be able to get to location without difficulty.
Fair enough.
And that we'll be able to penetrate to get in, so that to a suitable place where we can hack.
Now, you may want to have a look at those bullet points, because those are the things on 7+, say how your plan puts the named crew at advantage when they take action too. So, this is about nominating who's doing what in this plan. Mm-hmm. This is the heist move.
Right. So, yes, I understand. But I roll first, yeah.
Well, I'd like to know what the plan is.
So I think the plan is that the plan is to take standard transport down to the appropriate level and to follow and to follow this particular way out to where the system is. I think
Yeah.
Gort's going to take position of a point on that. And he'll basically move ahead, and then we'll follow along. Once it's so if anybody, if he picks up anybody's following him or watching too closely, he can mislead them. And then where we get to the actual facility, then I think that Keel is going to be the one to override the door, so we can get in without causing a problem. And then Keel will also be the one to do hacking.
Okay. So
My major role is in case things go wrong. No, I'm the one watching for trouble. So
okay.
There's also the option. Like, there's always stuff breaking down there, right? You could be escorting me as someone to go and fix something in the outstation that has been reported as broken.
Can I suggest, because we could bog down here into the next 40 minutes as we discuss potential plans and potential difficulties when, who knows what would happen? No plans ever works. What I'm hearing is that you're going to be rolling with the intention of granting Gort advantage to get somewhere, reach a particular locational position. Yeah. You are hoping to have enough advantages to throw around so that Keel can make an entry, can access the unit, the outstation computer, that if you've got any freebies left over, it is that Serena is going and reduce a target's capacity to cause stress. Maybe.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah. So that's how we can mechanize this away from the narrative. So Gort, that's the plan, and we'll find out how well it goes in a moment. But I want you to tell me how it is as point man that you make your way from level 60, 62, 63, whatever it was, down to 28.
So I think it's just staying in the shadows, using other people's IDs when they open elevators, just, rushing in, tailgating people.
Yeah.
So we leave very little footprint, cause very little aggro in our direction.
I like that. Let me just put this where I need it. And there we go. So that's what you're going to do. Let's see how this goes and whether we have enough advantages to play the game here. So Serena, let's roll for how good a plan this is. Roll plus shady.
9. So I get 2 of the advantages, and I'm going to take the first 2. I'm going to give Gort and Keel advantage for those respective tasks.
Fine. 7 to 9, the GM describes a cost of your success. They share stress as established. I think that's relevant. There's unwanted attention. It takes longer than you'd hoped. Yes, I think it takes longer than you'd hoped. You planned a window that would get you down there at the end of the working day. Yeah? So that hopefully the office would be empty. It takes longer than that. So the office will be locked, will be closed up, as you'd hoped. But there's going to be quite a lot of post-working day activity on the streets. Okay? More activity than you'd hoped for. Okay. So you get to the location, but there's rather more activity when you get there. But yeah, so Gort, you have advantage to get somewhere, to be in the ideal position. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's the best one for that? I think it's probably take a risk, isn't it?
I think so. It's a good general move.
It is. Roll with advantage.
Shady as well, isn't it?
I'd have thought so.
That's how I described it.
Agility, speed, or precision. Finesse. Give you a choice: shady or finesse. Remember, you're not tied. This is the plan is basically a deception, a mislead, a stealth operation. But how you do your bit of it is up to you. I can see doing this, trying to do this quickly with finesse, maybe, or sharp or shady. Sharp or shady.
It's slowed down though.
It is.
Don't get there in time.
So yeah, so I think sharp or shady.
Shady.
Go for it.
I've applied a +1 modifier.
Okay.
I need to roll another dice though because it's an advantage, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
So a 2 and a 3.
Follow the plan.
So 5, 6.
Oh, so on a, oh dear, right. So on a 6+, I wonder if I can get an interesting cost of failure out of this. 5 and 2 or 2 and 5. 2 and 5, attacked by something you trusted. 5 and 2, a group or community is in the crosshairs. Yes, 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 yes. I think that you get down there, and when you get down there, because it's after work, you find that there is a demonstration taking place. RGA, Hub Police, are trying to put down a work-related, a desire to unionize down in the sublevels. So there's more activity, and more specifically, it's a demonstration at risk of becoming a riot. Because down here, the Hub Police will not be gentle. So, Serena, your plan has got you down here. It's took longer. That's made it slightly more complicated because now you've got a crowd of people and a significant police presence. Keel, you have advantage to try to get in here.
Yep.
What are you? How do we see you negotiating this scene?
Well, I can imagine, like, you know, a shot of an alley where at the end of the alley is this pre-riot, you know, energy happening, and you know, Gort and Serena sort of standing, trying to look all nonchalant, while I'm crouched down next to, you know, the service door or whatever that leads into this place, trying desperately to hack into it as quickly as I can.
I mean, this sounds like a brute force solution because you don't have time to be careful here, do you?
That's the thing, isn't it? And I'm no good at brute force, but oh, I'll give it a go.
You've got advantage to do it, though.
Yes.
The plan has got you this far.
Well, we just saw how good advantage is, didn't we?
Well, this is just terrible luck.
You just have to roll the right 3 dice.
Yeah.
You picked up the wrong dice.
7, just
7,
which I think is appropriate. You know, he's not really into forcing things, but he's getting his multi-tool in there and just cranking, and it just snaps off, and you know, the door hisses open.
Okay, you succeed and gain advantage to exploit the change you've made. So you've got advantage here. The team has advantage. Gort backs you up. Serena, you're last in on the grounds that your part of this was to provide cover.
Yeah, I'm not in. I'm in fact out because I need to safeguard the exit. And this is the only way I know.
Right. So you're maintaining.
I also have an idea for a distraction
Ooh,
as such when it becomes necessary.
well, then keep that in mind. But 7 to 9 on the breaking in, the cost of a different feature attacker is added or removed. You are stressed. You have to stress, damage, something else the GM describes. Your work is very temperate. No, I think that a different characteristic or feature is added to the scene, which is a time constraint.
Oh, okay.
Because for some reason you have broken in and the alarm system hasn't triggered, but you can see that it's going to trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you managed to stop it triggering now, but it's going to go off in a bit. Yeah. So you and Gort are inside. Gort, are you taking point, or is Keel just heading ahead?
I'm happy to take point unless Keel wants to outrun me.
Okay. In which case, as you pass me, I say, we've got to find this this central computer or whatever it is, quickly because the alarm, it hasn't gone off yet, but it's going to go off really soon.
Let's move with haste.
So I think that what we see is the demonstration is getting louder. You can see maybe there is a number of police drones hovering over the crowd, and Gort, this is the back entrance into a recruiting station. So there's front of house, which is really it looks a little bit like the worst of the Dole offices from my recollection of the 1970s, which is hard plastic seats, and a set of windows which have grills in them.
Yeah.
Where the recruiters take people's lives from them. But you've come in back of house, and back of house there is the kind of office where the manager of this down station would be located, and that's where the terminal is. So Gort, you found that. I think that we can see you looking through those windows into that waiting room, and the grubby windows beyond. You can see again a crowd of people. Maybe from where you are, you can see the police line with their riot shields, and they appear to be advancing across the front of the shop front. Yeah. Keel, what are we going to see you do now?
I mean, frantically looking for that terminal. I think maybe not paying as much attention to what's going on around him as he should, because he's just got to get to that terminal before the alarm goes off. Got to get in and out before the alarm goes off.
You do. I don't think make or break is relevant here. I think this is take the risk.
Okay.
Now, you could take more time by finding an angle first and then taking the risk, or you can just go for broke.
I see.
Find an angle would allow you to set up an advantage, which will take you more time, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I do think he is the kind of person, as much as he's focused on getting this done, it's like, get it done right.
Fix it, do it properly. Okay. So I think you are working with at pace here to find an angle. Or do you want to take even more time?
No, that sounds good. What? Sorry.
So
I'm looking at find an angle. Yes,
you are.
I think I would.
You are.
Yeah.
So you're working quickly to find the best way to crack this system.
Yes.
Yeah. Do your thing.
So are we going to say this is sharp?
I think if you're doing it quickly, it's finesse.
Okay.
Agility, speed, or precision.
Yeah. I can imagine that. This is when the fingers are flying across the terminal, isn't it? Yeah, cool. Uh,
Not certain what your finesse is.
0. 6 and a 3, 9. That'll do.
9, that'll do nicely, won't it? So on a 9, you succeed, gain advantage you sought. Something that describes the cost of your success. I think the cost of your success is that the alarm goes off.
Off already. Okay.
Serena, you know, you're in the alley. You can see that you can hear an alarm going off inside the downstation. And maybe even there's a light on the outside of the building that's now flashing in the alleyway. What do you do, if anything?
Is this a really noisy environment?
It's noisy out there. I suppose the worry you have to have is whether this causes a response from the police who are around the corner, whether the RGA system is wired in.
Yeah, well, the police around the corner are likely to be are busy.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, if it's just a matter of worrying about the light flashing out here, I'll shoot the light out.
I don't think you can assume that's true. I think this is an RGA system. It's likely to have triggered something.
Okay, well then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger another alarm.
By doing
by taking this chunk of metal I found in the alleyway and flinging it through one of the windows of another building.
Another building or the same building? Because it must be said, those other buildings may not be as wired to the same system. You know, this is an RGA outside station.
That's true.
A signal is now going to headquarters or area sector headquarters, and maybe there may be a flashing light on a desk in the nearest.
Yeah, I'll smash a window in this building. It's like some rioter threw, through something. This has got nothing to do,
Okay.
With any sort of internal break-in.
That will require you to leave the alleyway.
I do,
and
yeah.
Join what you were about to incite, the riot.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I'm inciting a riot.
Kick it off.
So let's have you take the risk here. And the risk might be that you're going to be, how do you do this? Do you muscle your way through to the window and then smash it and try to leg it? Do you, do you try to maneuver yourself so it looks like somebody else done it? What do you?
I scream in some appropriate pro-union slogan and just do it. And then I, tuck into the crowd, and let myself get lost in the crowd.
Are you crouching down? Because I think you're quite tall, aren't
you? I'll give you a choice. I think it's shady or force.
It's force for sure.
Go for it.
I'm tired of being shady.
Need to tick another attribute.
Yes, well, force is the last one that wasn't ticked. So, in addition to the fact that I wanted to use it, so. That's a 6.
Oh, it's a 6. You fail. The GM describes the cost of failure.
Great.
And I think that
have I rolled anything? I had one successful roll so far this game.
a new dice. I'm using this dice roller because people kept telling me that roll for your party was really delivering nothing above a 2 on any occasion.
No, other people seem to be doing fine. I'm getting the short end of the stick.
Okay, let's see whether cost and harm, cost of failure is 6 and 2. You lose track of someone important, or 2 and 6. Attacked by something you trusted. I'm gonna pervert that into attracting a violent response from some of the other protesters. One of the stewards who's trying to stop this turn into a riot turns to you and says, grabs you by the front and says, "What are you doing? We're trying to avoid this going horribly wrong." Take an emotional stress, I think.
Okay. But things are getting physical. That's my
Yeah,
idea of fun.
yeah. Gort, you can see, the window comes in. And you have to, looking out there, see Serena as the person who done it, and now is being kind of, accosted, not assaulted yet, by one of the demonstration organizers. What, if anything, do you do, Gort?
I seriously doubt that Serena is in any harm as of yet. Maybe if the police rub a bullet at her, that would be a different matter. But no, I think we're fine at the moment. I'm slightly concerned why there's now, because I mean the windows would have been either frosted or horrendously grubby and dirty.
Yes.
I mean,
now there's
people looking in.
Yeah. And it must be said, more than looking in, because while one of the guys trying to steward the demonstration is trying to calm things down and berating Serena, other people are thinking, yeah, that's what we should do. Another window comes in. And I think it's only a matter of time now before some protesters come in and start vandalizing the RGA infrastructure.
I'll tell Keel that I'll deal with this. Just get it done, and I'll deal with this. So I'll step into the front of house basically.
Okay.
And I will show my false credentials and say, now then, this is a proper Unite demonstration. Calm it down, lads. Calm it down. There's no need to take it out.
Okay, I will come back to you in a moment. Keel, you've worked out how to do this. I think it probably is sharp now to actually take the risk of hacking the system.
Yeah.
But you have advantage. Let's see how it goes.
I think he's also, yelling. Well, not yelling, but at least muttering. 40 seconds, 40 seconds. I just need another 40 seconds. Wow.
You got a 7 barely.
I did.
But you tried very hard to fail.
See those teeth? There's some skin of them.
So on a 7+, describe how you achieved the success you saw. So you're in, yeah? What do we see on the screen? What graphics do you want to show to illustrate that you are doing this? We're in Mission Impossible country now, aren't we?
Yeah. Except that we're also down in the depths of of hub. I think it's very much a terminal, right? It's just ASCII art, and we've got in, and it said, so we're trying to track down information about that thing. So it's one of those classic, just reams of characters flying up the page, and maybe the MGF1N starts to appear in those letters and consolidate, and then you get like a file with like the nice border and some data,
and then a
stuff.
Bar appears at the bottom.
Yeah,
which begins
it's got to have
yeah. And I'm going to use something interferes with your progress. It's so slow. It's such a big file. It is downloading really slowly. Serena, there is now argy-bargy beginning to break out, and the police are beginning to try to isolate people at the front of that. You can see them kind of trying to wedge their way in to separate the bulk of the protesters from the people who are now guilty of criminal damage. What are you doing, Serena?
I'm just getting myself out of there. I'm going to duck under this fellow's arm and then bulldoze my way out of the crowd to a vantage point.
I mean, I'm curious here. Are you going to try to leave the area and get to your rendezvous point? If anything goes pear-shaped, we meet on this corner.
No.
Are you going to try and work your way back to the alleyway? Or are you going to take the more obvious route to join the others, which is to go through the smashed window next to you?
Yeah, I'll go through.
while attempting to, I'm guessing, avoid police observation, because these drones are now beginning to focus on this bit of the crowd. You know, you can see them just
Yeah,
spinning
but
in.
I'm confident. I'm confident I can get in and through into cover before they can
Okay,
spot me.
so tell me how you do it, so I know which thing to have you roll.
I'm just gonna dive. I'm gonna dive through the window, roll, and come around, duck behind the desk.
Okay, so that sounds like agility to me. Finesse.
It does.
Yeah, roll with finesse. And then Gort, I'm going to come to you next to see whether you've managed to kind of achieve some level of order in here, or whether it's all going to just devolve. Because you can see the police line are getting close to one of the smashed windows. Go for it, Serena.
All right, here we go. 2 dice and finesse. That's a 9.
9. 7+. Describe how you achieve the success you sought. Well, I think that the roll through the window, roll, and you kind of pop up next to Gort would be the logical thing.
Yeah.
And
I say, getting a little warm out there.
I think that the difficulty is that you've attracted the attention of some of the protesters who've come in through the window.
Right.
And somebody saying, "It was her. She smashed the window."
I'd like to pick one from my list.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Which list are you talking about?
Just do it.
Oh, just do it. Yeah, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I was going to take a risk. Go for it.
No, I don't have to take a risk.
No.
I do this sort of thing for breakfast.
You do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'll take them by surprise or drop out of sight, whichever one makes the most sense for avoiding attention.
Well, you tell me. Do you want to drop out of sight, which is we don't know where you are? We don't know if you went through the window or whether you went round the back, or you've just dropped out of sight. So
Yeah,
there's no chance of police observation.
I'll do drop out of sight.
Fine.
But I'm still there in case they need backup.
Yeah, somewhere hard to reach would be Gort, I think. Pay some money to take choice.
If I can, I'll get to Gort then, because that's better.
Gort, you're trying to convince here, aren't you?
In my best Yorkshire trade union accent. Calm down, lads, calm down. There's no reason to throw sticks and stones here.
Convince. That sounds like
I'm being very sincere.
I think you're trying to be sincere. Yeah, I think you're so roll plus sincere.
And I am going to pull some money out of my pocket just in case I need it, because I think I will. So you haven't actually told us about cred. Do you want to explain cred?
I will explain cred. Cred can be something you have to spend, but it means credibility or credit. Money or credibility. So, for instance, if you could convince me that you had fictional positioning to have had a long discussion with the union organizers in advance, Paul could now spend cred to gain advantage. So cred can buy you advantage either because you have a certain amount of credibility at this moment because of some previous event, or you have you spend some money to make something happen. Yeah. So are you thinking here of investing cred?
I am, and I think it's while we were taking a long time to get down here, there were union reps coming down with us. So I've got a good idea of how they act, and I'm willing to put my false ID to use. So, I've got some legitimacy as a union rep, and I will hold my union member's badge. Hi in the hair. Hi.
I think it's more likely to be a bit of a placard.
Yes.
So I like that. So I'm going to allow you to reduce your cred from 1 to 0 and roll with advantage to convince them to just
the cred first.
Yeah. But I do want to know what you are trying to convince them to do. Are you
I'm
convinced?
trying to convince them to really lower the tone here. You know, completely go away from any kind of violence. Maybe sit down.
Okay. Yeah. Peaceful
Peaceful
non-cooperation.
protest.
Go for it.
Okay, 3d6 -1 built in.
Okay.
5.
That's not good.
Can
Can I help?
Well, I was going to say, aid a crew member.
I think I want
What do you want to do? How do you want to aid this? Because what looks like it's going to happen is it looks like they're about to do what Gort said, but then a couple of the police come through the window wielding batons. So, Serena, how do you want to help? How do you want to avoid this turning potentially bloody?
Hang on. I'm going to try to. I guess I'm going to try to hustle them out. Hustle, a couple of the people out, physically out of the building. It's like, get out,
Okay.
go back to your go back to your group. I'm just, give them no time to sit there and take a swing at the police or give them any more reason.
I think that is I think that's sincere or shady.
I think both of those are the same value. So I'll go sincere.
Okay.
Nope.
No.
You both suffer any cost attached to the original action, and the GM may describe an additional cost of failure. Gort and Serena, Keel, as you come out of the office with the memory stick, the data slab that you have this information on, Gort and Serena are embroiled in a fracas between demonstrators and the police who've come in and decided we will sort this out, and are there with riot shields and they're battering left, right. Yeah. What do you do, Keel?
So Keel was just waiting for this thing to fill up, right? And as much as he's very anxious about watching that little thing, while it's starting to fill up, he's thinking, okay, is there anything I can do? And he hacks, whatever the term is, into the light system with the intention of overloading the lights in the front section of the building where all the people are and the police.
Yeah.
So that they come on brilliantly for as long as the bulb lasts and then winks out black.
Okay. I don't think you need to do that using the computer system, because I doubt that this computer system is linked to these lights. Yeah. I think you just need to go out and do a bit of engineering. You need to do a bit of create, make or break. You want to make a bright light that explodes, don't you?
Yep. I want to make and break.
And I think before you do that, I want to know what Serena and Gort's intention is here. You are embroiled in now a fracas. There are fists flying, there are batons and shields being deployed. What are you doing? Are you staying and fighting? Are you looking to escape out the back the way you came in? What's the intention? Serena, what are you thinking?
While Keel's in there, I don't think we can escape.
Well, Keel's so remember, this is split by a barrier with windows in it. Keel is on the safe side of that. You and Gort are on the kind of public side of that, the waiting room side, where some of the demonstrators now pulling up chairs and attacking the police with chairs.
Right. Does Keel have a way out?
Well, the back door that you broke in
Yeah.
through onto the
Okay.
alleyway.
All right. Well then, yeah, extricating ourselves, you know.
Okay, so Serena's intention is to get the hell out of Dodge. Gort.
And I look at Gort. I look at Gort for a signal. It's like, and jerk my head.
What are you thinking, Gort?
Well, I mean, my entanglement is pursued. So, I don't like being here. I don't want to get pursued by the police. So I'm all for a hefty run very quickly.
Right.
Okay, so I don't think this is make or break. I think this is find an angle.
Yes,
Keel.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Yeah, so find an angle to grant an advantage that the others might be able to employ. Yeah, so find an angle. I think this is probably sharp.
All right, that's what I'm angling for. Yeah.
Because I think, it's how do I cross wire this system in a hurry to cause those lights to overload? Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Eight. So on a 7 or 8, on a 7 plus, you get your advantage. 7 cost of your success is, I think there's light shatter on your side of the barrier as well. And some of that glass causes 1 stress to you. Okay. Have you, just by the by, did you say that you'd marked your reminder of home?
I did.
That 1 in the middle of that sequence, NA1NA, means that if you stress your reminder of home, your good luck will avoid that stress.
I mean, it's auto fix, so it will fix itself.
And it's auto fix. Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess. Yeah. Sure. I think. I can even describe that. I think the glass is showering down on me, and I'm like, moment, and my hand brushes against my pocket, and I feel a little prick there, and I think it's some of this glass that's falling on me, but then I realize that it's actually the metal butterfly that I have, which is it's made from metal of the asteroid that I was born on.
Fine. That grants Serena and Gort advantage. So I think this is probably shady to do it without being noticed for Gort, certainly. And I'll give you the option, Serena, agility or force. Or shady, for that matter.
Yeah, force is always good.
Which one of you is going to benefit most from the advantage?
I'm willing to allow Serena to go first.
Fine.
If there's some blows flying from the police, I'll take them for a bit.
Okay, so Serena, roll with advantage to get to the back of this and out through the where you came in.
A 12.
A 12. That goes very well indeed.
Yay! The curse is broken.
About time. Taking the risk to escape on a 10 plus. Say how you end the move in a position which may grant you advantage if you could exploit it. So where do you end up in the alley? What do we see there, or what are you doing there that might grant you advantage next, if you need it?
I'm putting up my drone.
Fine.
My drone to spot the, see where the crowd is.
Yeah.
Where the police are.
Gort, you're rolling without advantage.
Here we go. 4.
Gravy.
Harm is established, I think. So harm is established for melee weapons, which is what those clubs are, would be 2. So you will take 2 stress, unless you have something you're wearing.
Luckily, under my clothing, I'm wearing Kevlar body armor.
Okay, and that Kevlar body armor, protection 1. That means only one gets through.
Sounds
Yeah?
good to me. Yeah.
Or you can stress it and absorb both.
No, one's fine. I might need to stress it in a bit.
Okay. So I think a police baton comes down, but the Kevlar
It hurts, but it could have been worse.
It hurts, but it could have been worse. And so Keel and Gort spill out into the alley behind Serena, who's already popped a drone up. And I think this is now about just extricating yourself. What's the plan, Serena?
Didn't plan this bit.
Yeah, well, no, but I have, I pull out my little, mini map of the area. And I say, the crowd, this whole area is blocked off by the crowd. The police are massed over here. We've really got to go down, this alleyway. And then we can, get around this. That's a superstructure. It's a bridge. We can get up and over this whole business. And once we're down on the other side, then getting back shouldn't be any problem.
Okay. Let's see how well that plan goes, shall we? This seems to be I think this is more direct action than stealth, unless you're very keen.
No, this is direct action.
Yeah, because this is about muscling your way to where you need to get, and then
running.
Yeah.
Implementing plan RLF, as a friend might say. Okay.
I tell you what, I'm going to give you.
So that is force.
I'm going to give you advantage because of the drone, if you stress it.
Yeah, no, I think this. I'll be bringing the drone back, so I'm going to stress it.
Okay.
Okay. Here we
3
go.
dice plus whatever. Oh, jeez.
That's a 6.
With advantage.
With advantage, with a +1.
With advantage.
Advantage on a +1.
I don't know, Brandon, if you recall my dice rolling ability during your
oh no, that was yours was impossibly good. Bad.
I feel like you've caught it off me.
Unless someone can help, we're going to run into some thick weather.
Because 6-, while the plan proceeds broadly as you described, anyone involved is disadvantaged rather than advantaged, and the GM may describe an additional cost of failure. So, is there anybody who wants to help with force? Because it looks like you're going to fall at the first hurdle, getting to that overpass.
So what we trying to achieve?
We're trying to get through this bit of crowd.
Yeah, over the crowd. Over the crowd. Getting through is a non-starter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is sort of chipping everybody on as they're running out of breath. Come on, dig deep. We got to get out of this. We do not want to be pursued. I know what it feels like.
I mean, I'll give you force or sincere with that.
I'll roll force. -1 probably that.
Thank you.
Don't know, where is it? This probably won't go anywhere either. But hey, let's have a go. What could go wrong?
We've lost faith in our dice rolling ability.
Oh,
not today.
We changed colors.
Yeah.
There you go. You see, that's what it took.
He foxed it by changing the colors.
So is that's 7 to 9 then?
Yeah.
On 7 to 9, 7+, outcomes increase from fail to 7 to 9 for Serena. 7 to 9, you suffer any cost attached to their original action. So the cost for their original action was trying to break through the crowd to get to your escape route. So
ideally over, but yeah.
So I'm going to apply. It would be 2 stress, as chairs and bits of debris and traffic cones are being wielded, but your vest will take one of those, so you take 1 stress.
One stress.
I'd like to. I have. This is a plan, right? So.
Yep.
So I can pick 2.
You can.
One of them, I'm going to reduce the target's capacity to cause stress.
Fine.
And and the other is reach a particular location or position.
I think Gort. Yeah, I think that works nicely. Get to a location that I'm not going to make the pair of you roll for that. I think that we've
Let's have a couple of rubber bullets flying by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're beginning to spray stuff from the drones. You know, ink to mark people. But I think you're going to make it out. So you've got what you went looking for, and I've just realised that I've run 40 minutes over my normal break time. So forgive me for that. We will come back. It is 38 minutes past the hour. I'm going to suggest that we take a break until 1:45 the hour. Does that seem like long enough? And we'll come back to have you regrouping. Okay?
Yep.
I suggest that we cut to getting paid. And I think I'm going to say this time, I think that Jameson sets up a meet in a mid-level bar. You know, somewhere not overly salubrious. You won't stand out as being too low for it. And at the same time, it's a relatively civilized location. And not far from where you've docked the ship, perhaps. So getting paid is the move. When you fulfill your contract, GM says it was a breeze, you get paid the full potential value you contracted for. I'm afraid I'm not prepared to say it was a breeze. So I've said where the scene opens. Who represents the client? I'll give you two options. Is it Jameson, his goon that you've met, or an intermediary that you've not yet met, but you've been told to expect? Gort?
I think Jameson, we need to show him that, you know, he's dealing with a real McCoy.
Okay. What reassures you about this location, Keel, as a safe place to do business?
It's in public, so any kind of shenanigans is, you know, going to be...
It's going to be very public, perhaps, yeah. Despite that, what makes it less than secure than you'd like, Serena?
The sound environment's not secure. It's, you know, there's too much possibility of someone overhearing, even though it is kind of noisy.
Yeah, fair enough. So there's a lot of people, which means that it's very public, but there's a lot of people, so more people might be able to spot what's going on. Yeah, I get that. Right. So yeah, crowded bar. Yeah. And you're sat in a corner booth, and Jameson emerges from the crowd and stands at the table and says, I hope you have good news, Gort.
Of course. You're relying on the best.
So he sits down in the booth with you. Gort, this was your kind of setup, so I'm going to make you roll plus hospitality for the outcome.
Okay.
So roll plus hospitality, which is +1.
Let's go with the brown dice. They delivered something last time. There we go.
To our millions of viewers, that's a pair of ones.
3.
No, okay, so
Balls
normally,
of derisive laughter.
normally you would get a choice about whether this meeting goes well, it's calm and civil, or it's discreet. On 6-, none of the above are true, and the meeting goes sideways. The GM chooses at least 2 of the otherwise options, unless someone is in a position to help out and save this disaster. Gort, how does your demeanor in this meeting mean that you're starting off with complete failure on your part?
I think as I pull out the stick, one of the crowd, because there are lots of people here, you know, somebody bumps into me, knocks out my hand, and I lose it. Yeah, it goes spinning on the floor, and I ain't happy. You know, so I start shoving this guy.
Okay. That's the setup for help a crew member.
So does
Yeah.
someone is someone, you know, very good at like just snatching things out of the air?
I
I
don't know.
am.
Are
I
you?
am.
Are
I'm
you
going to
Serena?
try.
Okay,
Yes.
so I think this is roll plus finesse to help a crew member.
It's like I'm glad when things are happening fast and with little discrimination. So it's like this is that's an 11.
Okay, the far extremes we're in now.
Yes.
7 plus outcome goes from failure to 7 to 9 for Gort. And you get no downside out of that at all, Serena. So 7 to 9, agree one of the 3 truths about the meeting. Gort or
D.
Serena. Which one of you wants to agree this? Because
It's
Serena
getting
saved
paid.
your bacon there.
What are the options?
The meeting goes well, you're paid in full. Otherwise, there's unforeseen overheads, which means -1 to the payment. The meeting is calm and civil. No one interferes and the expected payment goes through. Otherwise, a factional complication or entanglement causes a perhaps violent problem before the meeting ends. Or the meeting is discreet. No one will hear about the job unless you want witnesses. Otherwise, word will leak and there'll be a future factional complication or...
As it was illegal, we're going to get +1 anyway.
Yes.
So I think a bit less money. You know, maybe the file's not. Maybe it's only 99.9% there.
No, I think I would go for that. I think Jameson
Yeah.
just doesn't, you know, this was he did you a favor, you did him a favor. There's no extra payment for the fact it was illegal.
Right. So I think a meeting is calm and civil is the truth.
Fine. So the meeting goes where it says calm and civil. So it would have been wealth 4, but because Gort is trading that for a debt,
Right.
so Gort, you reduce your debt by 1 from 3 to 2, and I will add 3 to the wealth unless somebody else who has a debt to the flower wants to trade in their share for a reduction in debt.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the hook to these people. I'll trade.
Okay, so you can reduce your debt from whatever it was, 1 to 0.
1 to 0. Yeah.
And the total payment in wealth coming through will be 2, not the original 4. Yeah. So let me do that before I deal with any of the fallout. So 2 takes you to the top of breaking of scraping by. 1 more wealth, and you would have been breaking even.
What would breaking even do for us?
It gives you
it gives.
There are some cheaper options for repairs and your credit refresh.
Oh, I'm totally then contributing my wealth back. I'll keep my debt.
Okay, right.
No, I didn't realize
only a debt of 1.
I didn't realize we were right on the threshold there.
Okay,
so
you are at this moment breaking even. And
when you said it was a bit cheaper, I must admit I'm not seeing that.
Say again.
You said things were a bit cheaper at breaking even.
Oh, sorry.
The costs look exactly the same, if not worse.
Yeah, no, sorry. I've got that wrong. And the amount you earn gets less as well, because
there's mercenary jobs.
Units of wealth are less valuable to you the wealthier you are. But it increases the range of jobs. Yeah. And pushes you to more dangerous ones.
I like more dangerous ones.
Yet comfortable, on the other hand, it is cheaper to repair.
It does. Then things get a bit easier. So anyway, any road up. So I need to work out what is the consequence here. So you've been paid 1 less, and the meeting is not discreet. A factional complication or entanglement will crop up in the near future. Yeah. So and I think Jameson is sufficiently generous to say his strong advice is that you stay off the RGA's radar for a little while, because it is possible that they will begin to put 2 and 2 together. And that does neither you nor me any good. So, do you get out of Dodge? Or are you going to hang around and try to find a paying job at the risk of something of this time leading to follow-up?
So leading out of that then is a question about jobs.
Mhm.
If a job is in another system, do
Yeah.
we always have to return here?
No, not necessarily. Depends what you're doing.
So looking through the jobs in the area we are now, local, well, the word local at the start of that one, that's not really a pick, although they pay 0, so they're not really jobs. Salvage, recovery, rescue, investigate, or mercenary. But we've got no control over where they are, any of them, do we?
No.
But if we go to another, if we hop to another system, then we're out of the RGA's hair.
But then we've got to pay fees
You do.
before.
You'll have to pay fees the next time you go through Ringgate full stop. So you're either looking for a job here, which means you don't have to pay any fees.
Yeah, but as in, if we go somewhere and then look for a job, we'll actually be in the lower category because we've got to pay to get there. So the only option is to find a job here.
Well, no, you will go through. I'll charge you for refuel and resupply on arrival.
Which will drop us down to scrape and buy.
It will.
And then we look for a job there.
Yes.
So it'd be a scraping by job.
Yes.
I think, well, I mean, let's put it to a vote, but I mean, I think we have to take a job here.
Putting the mechanics to one side for a moment, the longer you spend in the hub system, the more likely that factional entanglement is going to happen now.
Do we want to hang around long enough to find a job here that is out of system, or do we want to just get out of system and find a job that's out of system?
That's my question.
Yeah, how long will it take to check the local job market?
Long enough for me to config. What does it say in the move? There will be a factional entanglement. A factional complication and/or entanglement will feature in the near future.
It's going to feature in the near future anyway.
It is, but you're in the RGA's home turf here, aren't you?
Yeah, this is if they cause trouble for us, I'd much rather it be not here.
It would be much better if it was in some primitive backwater where their representation might be thinner on the ground.
So what jumps have we got from here then? Where can we go?
Ring gates from here are widespread. The Sword Worlds, the Long Cloud, Bruce, the Collective, and Geshem.
So we can go everywhere apart from 7.
Yes.
Anywhere apart from Jade Meadow. I'm indifferent, although 2 cred is nicer than 1 cred. Variety of jobs, but I'm not going to argue the toss on it. Pretty easy going.
The biggest difference here is, if this is a well-traveled system, your chances of RGA follow-up are going to be higher.
Yeah, although not so much perhaps in the collective.
Well, yeah, conceivably.
Because the government there is very territorial.
Yeah.
Heal? Something here or go and...
Keel is probably the most nervous of us in terms of, he's got the most debt already to the RGA. But he hates being poor. And would like what his ideal would, I guess what he's thinking is his ideal would be that we do find a job here and it takes us out of system, we can stay out of system. But that's so many ifs that it's probably not worth betting on.
That's a
So we
nested
should
if.
just
Yes, that's a
It is a
significantly
nested
nested if.
it is the cyclic complexity is too high.
Nobody wants a
Um,
NIFT.
I know Revolution pretty well.
Head to collective on the grounds that they might have sufficient legs to stand up to the RGA and reduce numbers of patrols.
Yeah, they're not gonna
It,
they're not
it
gonna
doesn't
deal
have to be the RGA that's gonna. It is a faction.
Oh,
You know,
but, yeah. I mean, I don't want to mislead you here.
I
A
understand that,
faction
but
it'll
we
be
were
running
advised
with
about
something.
RGA heat. The collective is one of the places the RGA has trouble reaching.
So we could have some collective heat instead.
Well, at least I'm familiar with that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you're going to have to dock at the RGA ring station, come what may, but it's whether they have the inclination, hence backwater, so. Where do you want to go? Come on, guys, make a decision.
Besides,
I
want to
go
go. You
I'll
want to
go
go
to the
to the
collective.
collective. I want to go to either where was it? The
The only place where we haven't got any debt in favour?
Where's that?
Sword Worlds.
Sword Worlds. Nobody owes anybody there anything.
Yeah.
No one likes the neural system.
I'm just saying,
Sword Worlds was, I think Sword Worlds is a good place to go to hanker down, and also, they'll probably have some dodgy.
They can't pursue me if I'm in their front room.
I thought you you left in a hurry.
Well, the Guild of the Metal Flower helped me out, but they should have forgotten me. I was left for dead, so I don't owe them anything. I don't think they owe me anything.
Okay, I'm hearing 2 for the Sword Worlds as a backwater, or the collective as somewhere that might not be keen to see the RGA interfering with people. That's a 2-to-1, and so I'm going to say you are on a trajectory to the ring gate to take you to the Sword Worlds. Yeah? Okay.
Can I get a decent cup of tea in the Sword Worlds?
Yeah, somewhere in in the never-ending war.
There is only war.
There is only war.
If we were able to keep our 1 tick, it would be very easy to get mercenary job in the Sword Worlds.
It would be very easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 weeks in ring space. We'll come to downtime and flashbacks if you want any in a moment. Refueling and resupply when you emerge at the Sword Worlds ring gate and dock at the ring gate station. That will cost you 1, which means that you are no longer breaking even, but are now scraping by. Do you want to spend anything? Because you've still got a weapon system that's not up to snuff. At the minute, your missile launcher is offline.
I mean, it's not offline. It's just sort of like a bit wonky.
Yeah.
I'll admit, I'm thinking, that we do some very boring work just to bring in a few creds once we get into, the Sword Worlds.
I feel better to have missiles that work.
Well,
not running the mechanics through anything. Sensors is where it's at, in all fairness. And what you want with sensors is you don't actually want to increase the number. You want the upgrades on sensors. You roll sensors so much more often than anything else. If you want to go stealthy, you roll at disadvantage. You've got to knock that off because you're never going to do anything at disadvantage. It always then puts you at a massive minus.
You don't have to tell a pilot how chips work.
That's why I spotted it.
So I'm just asking, do you want to get the weapon system repaired, or do you want to spend any money on the ship?
I'm not interested in the weapon system.
Okay, refresh your cred to 1 if you spent any of it. And we'll go to downtime. Each crew member resets their cred, done. Each crew member recovers as determined by current crew wealth. So you can recover 1. And recover is either to improve your, get rid of stress.
So it's 1 point of stress.
Well, recover, if I look up the move recover, if you have an opportunity to erase fix on 1 item, refresh, you clear your entire stress track, heal, erase 1 of your wounds. So recover can be any of those. So that would be clear your stress track. Yeah?
Yep.
So everybody can do that. Each crew spends the wealth required to pay for refill the real kid, done that. Then frame either a Ringgate space flashback or a Ringgate station scene. Flashbacks first. Teast, do you want Keel to flashback to time in ring space?
No, actually, I think he's gonna check out the biz.
Okay. Serena.
So it's either a scene or a flashback.
It's a flashback or a scene on the station, and that might be determined.
It's on the downtime tab, right?
Yeah,
it's on the downtime tab.
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
And if there was anything that you had marked as fixed that is an auto fix, you know you're going to clear that shortly or immediately.
Right. Fixing my gear chamber. Let's see.
And this time I will remember to remind you about what's on row 46.
Of your crew tab.
Over the crew tab, yeah, because you've got some downtime modifiers based on your origins.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
And I forgot all about that last time, I'll be honest.
I think I'll find a friendly face.
Okay, so a friendly face is... We've got an interest in the biz. What about Gort?
Are we scraping by?
You are currently scraping by.
Very well. I will work on a project.
Okay, let's do that flashback to you working on a project then, Gort. Flashback scene, roll with advantage when desperate or scraping by. You weren't scraping by during the ring space. You were breaking even till you came out of ring space. Sorry. Oh. Sorry.
That does affect everybody, doesn't it?
It does.
Does everybody want to replan then? If it was based on anything there?
Confused. What does that change?
Well, in Gort's case, he gets advantage on a flashback when desperate or scraping by. At the point you were in space, you weren't. Rations were a bit pleasanter. You know, it was all just a bit more relaxed on board ship, a bit more, the oxygen.
Well, then we came out the other side and realized that we had no money left.
Then you came out the other side and, you have to pay for, refueling and refilling.
It's like, okay, party's over.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've now got a taste for luxuries. So let's have a bit of Ringgate Station. I like, I like non-branded cola.
Okay, so let's start then with Keel. Are you still interested in a Ringgate scene? Roll with advantage. It's always more interesting and exciting than life in a small tin can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that will give you advantage on any of those Ringgate scenes. Because I'm right now, there are no flashbacks. Okay, right. So let's check out the biz.
Oh, it's oh, I see. Yeah. So is the biz that is a flashback, isn't it? I thought that was
It's a ring gate station scene.
You see, there's two sets on the
yeah, that's a
left-hand
ring
side.
space flashback.
Yeah. Available
Oh, hang on.
flashback scenes.
Oh, and roll with it. Ah, yeah. Okay, sorry.
Ring space. There's a
I
lot
was
of rings
right,
there. There's
but for the
ring
wrong
space
reasons.
and ring station.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm all good. I'm now.
Okay. So roll with cred, which is 1.
Yep. But I do get that advantage.
You do.
Sweet. And we've got 1 cred, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, 7.
7.
Just made.
Just made it. 7 plus. Hold an advantage when the crew next tries to find a playing job. So remember that, because I won't. Yeah. On a 7 to 9, GM describes the cost of your success. A tense or potentially dangerous situation develops. There's a difficult choice to make, and there's a shift in a relationship. A factional complication or entanglement surfaces. I think that when you're putting word around for a job for the crew of the Razor's Edge, I think someone who arrived shortly after you is in the same bar and says, hey, just so you know, when we came, we've come from Hub as well. And we were quizzed on what we knew about the Razor's Edge. Just, you know, a word between fellow tramp steamer captains. Yeah? But you have that advantage. So it looks like the RGA is trying to track you down.
Yep.
As long as you can stay ahead of the rate at which that pursuit can reach the next system, you can stay ahead of the game. Because, you know, that was 2 weeks ago, and it's 2 weeks tomorrow that word could reach the Ringgate station, conceivably. Yeah? What about Serena? What are you doing in your Ringgate scene? Find a friendly face.
Yeah, I'm going to the bar, and I'm going to find someone who wants to swap war stories.
Okay, right. Yeah, fair enough. Then roll plus cred to split the bill.
6. The dice are taunting me at this point because they're getting exactly 6 and number of times.
Okay, honest case matters. The GM chooses one of the 7 to 9 choices and raises the stakes by adding a cost to failure or someone or something that the crew hoped had been forgotten or avoided appears. Yes. I think that you're in the bar, and yes, you're in the bar having this conversation, and you're not gonna find a friendly face, I'm afraid. But somebody says, you mentioned the Razor's Edge maybe in passing, and someone says, "Oh, is that the ship where there's some kind of fight going on?"
The fuck, I say. Assuming this show is, allows that kind of language.
Of course it does. Before I ask you what you're going to do about that, I'm going to go to Gort. How are you spending? What's the Ringgate
I'm going to put my ear to the ground. So in the station, there must be quite a lot of employed sword worlders here.
Quite possibly, yes.
So
yes.
I would like. I mean, I like the luxuries in life at the moment. So, this is sort of like spending on horrendously frivolous stuff Uh, I'm going to lord it over them a bit, but I'm really trying to get some knowledge on the neural sisterhood, where they're operating, that sort of info.
Okay, then let's have your roll plus cred.
+1. That's a 5. And what is that?
That's a 5. That's a 5 and a 1, I think. I
Oh,
don't quite
5 and a
know.
1. It's just sat at a weird angle, isn't it?
Well, no,
On
the
my
two
screen,
dice, it rolled two single dice rather than two,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
I
put
did,
1d6
yeah.
plus 1.
So
It's a 7.
a 6, no, a 5, a 1 plus 1, 7.
Yep.
That's all right then.
That's all right.
The
It's
GM will give you
close.
a specific and relevant, or might even ask you to answer your own question. I suppose, because I am curious, I put this down in play to find out. Now, we know that they're widely visible and feared across the Sword Worlds, and particularly on Gladius, yeah? Because you don't have your own space tech. So their influence, how do they create and maintain fear among the people of Gladius? I'm trying to work out what the mindset of the people you're asking is.
They're Benny Gesserits. So, yeah. And they control the male population.
Okay, so they control the factions and
Yeah,
the
very
neural.
subtly, but people know that they're there and they're doing it.
Yeah, fine. And so they are the advisors and the power behind the thrones, if there were thrones. Okay, great. Okay, I like that. Um, uh, yes, yeah, because technology here is pretty much sword and sorcery, isn't it?
Yes.
Utilitarian metallurgy, communication at the speed of a riding horse, animal, or runner. Fine. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we do think these are nasty witches.
Yeah, I mean the neural sisterhood, they're which so it's that kind of supernatural fear.
Yeah, because they've got
Okay.
powers. Doesn't
Okay.
matter what sword
So
you got.
so what do you want to know?
I wonder where they're not.
Okay. The other question I have is that Gladius is a patchwork world. So what makes the patchwork? Like now, the patchwork where Beckett comes from is it's an enormous kind of crevasse running across this large asteroid with a bit of atmosphere settled in the bottom of it. Um, is this a patchwork because there are large expanses of volcanic? Is
No,
it
this is Seleucus Secundus.
ah
Yeah, nukes have been used
okay
in the
okay
past. Lots of them.
okay? So it sounds like at the point when the Ringgate system failed, the factions that existed on Gladius decided to try to work out who was going to survive,
Yeah,
and they just bombed themselves back into the Stone Age.
yeah.
And the last 200 years have seen you kind of clamber up.
Clamber up a bit, but we're clearly hampered. But these sisters keep us warring.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So it's there are some bits of this planet still radioactive.
Yeah, yeah. So we can have mutants.
Radioactive wastelands. Okay. Well, the obvious answer to your question is they nobody goes into the radioactive wastelands, and so those people who seek to escape the neural sisterhood head into the wastes. Does that
That does, yeah, yeah. We've got lots to go with there. Like
okay?
it.
Um,
That's some good world building. Liked it.
so Serena, let's go back to you because you have news that may require action.
I do. And I'm going to be dashing back to the ship at the same time that I hit my comm and say to the others, there's a fight at the razor's edge.
Um, and back to the Razor's Edge, or the docking space where the Razor's Edge is located. It's an external docking. You don't come in through some great kind of force field. So there is the clamps have the ship in place, and there is an umbilical connecting the station to the edge, and resupply is happening. They're ferrying unbranded goods aboard. Grey kibble and the like, and spacer aid, flavorless spacer aid. They're kind of shuffling all this stuff aboard, and there is a security presence at the station edge of the umbilical, because a couple of guys have gone mad. The police are the security are thinking about how they can stage some kind of intervention, which is when the three of you get back. What's the plan? Or I mean, don't assume I mean the game plan, but what are you gonna do?
I think this is not the time to get leery. But I mean, if people want to get leery, let's bring it. But
now, remember that you're speaking to an international audience here, Paul. Leery may not be a word that all of our audience is familiar with, and in the writers' room, I think we would probably sanction it.
Personally, I'm going to suggest that we don't go to 11. That rifles are not deployed and general carnage ensues right outside the front of our ship. But if it goes that way, it goes that way. I'm only giving my opinion. I'm happy to go.
So the people who have taken leave of their senses, they're on the ship?
Yep.
Shit.
It's part of the resupply. It's the guys pushing the trolleyfuls of supplies aboard.
Peel, what do you think?
Okay, we need breathers, and we need to get put on breathers and get them out.
Yep, that's what I think.
So, Keel, explain to me why you think you need some kind of breathing apparatus here.
Because it sounds much too like how Keel was feeling 3 weeks ago when we were.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've got it written down somewhere.
I jumped to conclusions.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I do.
Police to don masks and go and do it for us.
Well, that's my question. Well, I think Serena is suggesting that you go to the security presence, say this is our ship, we'll deal with it. But
yeah,
there is
we would prefer there to not be fuss and be noticed if we possibly can.
And of course, if the security go on board, you don't know what damage they may do while suppressing this fracard here. Yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your breathing apparatus is in the EVA prep room on the other side of the umbilical. But I'm very happy for you to spend your cred now to have access to rebreathers here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep. Great.
Okay, spend your cred, and you've got a supply that means you won't have to breathe ship's air. I think the only question is, I don't think I'll make you roll for this, but I think that the security on site will say, well, why I'm just waiting for the SWAT team to arrive. Why do you leave it to us? Keel, what's your response to
that? I want to reassure them that it's our ship. We'll look after it there. We don't want to make a fuss. We don't need to bring in or take up the valuable time of the police and so forth. We'll just bring them off, and I'm sure that they'll calm down as soon as they get their feet back on station ground.
Okay, he's prepared to go with that, but he says, if this goes pear-shaped, then I am going to send a SWAT team in.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else.
Okay, so I'm going to give you 20 minutes.
Okay. Yep.
So you through the umbilical. You are falling down the umbilical because that's the way the spin of the station works. So you are propelled out. So you're climbing down a ladder into into the airlock, and out of the airlock into the EVA deck. And below that is the bridge, below that is the quarters module, and below that is stores, which is as far as they should have gone. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll a couple of dice to see where you'll go on.
Can I roll plan?
You can. I just want to have in my mind
Okay.
where I think you're going to make a 6 and 3. That's going to be 3 and 6 then. So 3 and 6. I think, yeah, this is going to be down in the deck where the stores are. So they've obviously got down there, and then this has had an effect on them. Yeah. So Serena, by all means, plan.
All right. Well, this is basically, it's like, okay, we're going to go down there. You know, we have to subdue them as quickly as possible.
So that sounds like
drag them out.
Reduce the target's capacity to cause stress.
Reduce the target's capacity to cause stress. And get them out of there.
Okay, so if possible, then that and block the target's escape route, fallback position, or defense strategy, so they don't escape that deck.
Yeah, or don't hole up in someplace. With a blowtorch or something. I don't know.
Okay, and all three of you are going to be involved. I won't ask you to say who's doing what now. Let's see how the roll goes. So this sounds like direct action to me.
It's direct action.
Roll plus force.
10.
10. Will you look at that?
Well, you know, if I don't know my own ship, you know, what do I know?
Yeah.
And look, this is like, you know, we spot them on the ship to ship monitors, you know, because the ship's got maintenance cameras and things.
It does, yeah.
And it's like, okay, one of them is he's in, you know, between rows 3 and 4, we can just take him from behind.
So fine. What I'm envisaging here is a pincer movement, because there are 2 routes to that deck, down the dorsal or ventral spine. Yeah. And so I'm imagining trying to put one person behind them so they can't slip away, and putting someone in front of them to try and reduce their capacity to do stress. Yeah. But because you rolled a 10 plus, you get to nominate a third potential advantage here. So this could be 1 advantage each, 3 advantages for one person, or however you want to split those. All I need to know is who's going to try and stop them escaping the deck, who's going to reduce their capacity to do some harm to you, and is it enough to have one person doing that, or do you need 2 people doing that?
I think that's 2 people.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And this is about subdue rather than shoot in the head. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Okay. So let's start with the people at the sharp end who are going to reduce the capacity of this slot to do you some harm, which is about kind of rushing them, I think, and putting them to the ground. Yeah.
Yep.
That seem fair? Okay. So who's at that end? I'm assuming Gort is at that end. That may or may not be reasonable. But is it Serena or Beckett who are going to be stopping any retreat?
Well, I'm wondering if Beckett can actually, you know, control the systems within the ship to stop the retreat rather than physically doing it.
There is a move on the ship related to security called lockdown. So Keel could have advantage to roll plus security to lock down to keep a threat out of the ship or contain it in a particular zone.
That's
There you
that's
are.
the ticket. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you don't need to be there physically to do this, Keel. You're doing this from the bridge.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that means that Serena and Gort are going to rush them, maybe from each direction. Now that would make
Yeah.
some sense. And as soon as they enter, Beckett's going to lock down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to assume that you get to that deck. We're going to start with whether Keel locks it down, and then see how the suppression goes. Yeah. So Keel, let's have you roll with advantage plus security, which is +1.
Yeah. That's you'd think that should be a fairly
You would.
reasonable outcome.
You would, wouldn't you?
But
You would.
you'd be wrong.
What did you roll? Oh
I
no.
rolled a 6. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good gravy.
Sorry, I should have said.
You fail, lose track of the threat, and its surprise reappearance disadvantages those present in a future scene the GM chooses. When Serena and Gort get to that deck, there is no sign of them.
I've lost track of them. Like they were blips on the screen, and I could see them in the camera. They've gone. Like they can't have left the cargo deck yet. It would just be impossible.
You are correct. They were here.
They were here because I think you can see that there's been some damage done, superficial damage. Just, there somebody's been hitting somebody. There's a blood spatter, but they're
graffiti. Space wankers.
Now you know they haven't gone up ship because you would have encountered them, Gort and Serena. So they must be on the next ship down. They must have managed to get out of this area further down into cargo and engineering, which is a concern. But Gort and Serena, you still have advantage to play with here. But they're going to surprise you and put you at disadvantage, so that's going to cancel it out. So
Yep.
How do we see Gort and Serena now doing a kind of deck by deck search?
I think it for Gort, it's done some sort of riot gear.
Well, back Kevlar vest.
Yeah, thinking back to the police. I think it's that police action that we just got out of. I thought that was a good tactic. Let's go in with some battens, give him a bit of a shoeing.
So, Serena, you could be wearing your paramilitary now, if you want to.
Okay.
Gort's in his Kevlar vest. Do you want to mark 2 other items that you think might be valid? You don't have to have 2 items, but are you armed with rifles or pistols or what? You don't have to use them to shoot people. You can just club them. But I'm just curious. Because I should have asked you this when you left the ship to go and kind of do stuff.
Yeah.
Is this going to keep for the rest of the? Oh,
no. This is for you can change this every time you're on. If you're on the ship, you've got access to all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I carry it. I have a pistol because I always have a pistol.
Any thoughts?
Ex-military. I don't feel.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel right not to be armed.
So
the Kevlar vest.
Yeah, and no pistol, just fisticuffs.
No. Yeah. It's just a bit of stick, a rattan stick or something. Yeah.
Improvised tool.
Yeah, bit of a club.
Okay. And you come out onto a deck and you check. The longest walk on this ship in a straight line is about 12 or 15 meters. It's that cramped. So, it's not like you have lines of sight that go for miles. But they are going to surprise you. So when you are surprised, Gort, you are going to roll when violence erupts. You roll, but you don't roll, you just take stress as established. Right? So that would be 2. You can.
Are we surprised because of our advantage and their disadvantage?
That's true. Let's have. Yeah, that's fair.
So I'll take. We are surprised, but there's a little bit of recovery, so we don't docked instantly.
No, I think that's fair. Let's have you roll to take the risk then of being surprised, Gort. And I think this is probably shady or sharp. Take your pick.
I think this is sharp.
Go ahead.
2d6. I like the brown dice. That's a nice dice.
I thought I'd made them red, but you're right. On my screen, they look rather brown as well.
7. See? Yes, get in there. It's sad when you look forward to a 7.
One of mine looks cocked on. It's funny.
So, describing your achieved success, you told me you are not surprised. 79 describes the cost of your success. One of them jumps you, but he hits your Kevlar vest and with his improvised weapon, and that's that.
We're in it.
You're in it. Serena, let's have you take the risk.
Yeah.
Shady or sharp?
Shady, I think.
Okay, so stealthy approaches, listening, and then, there is that sound you hear and you...
Right. There you go. 2, 6, 11.
Wow. 10 plus. Say how you're moved, how you end the move in a position which may grant you advantage if you can exploit it. How do you find yourself on the up and up here?
Oh, that's fine. That's easy. He jumps out behind me and gets an elbow shot straight to the chin. I mean, just like she moves like she was like a mousetrap springing, just like the moment he steps out, and then just right from behind.
Okay, so I think that the way I want to resolve this is just a single roll, really. When violence erupts, can you suppress them? And you're attacking up close and personal, so it's rolling plus force.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Serena has advantage, Gort does not. So let's start with Serena this time.
Okay. Yeah, and so I'm just going for a straight takedown. I know quite a number of ways to subdue somebody. That's 9.
9. 7 plus. You inflict impact as established, which is enough for a nameless NPC, is enough to disadvantage them. And given that they are in a slightly heightened state, I think that's enough to put them down. Gort, you don't have to use when violence erupts because you know even more ways to take people down. Take them out. Roll plus force.
I think so. Yeah. Take them out. So I'm using my stick, so it is force.
Yep.
Not finesse. Just flat 2d6, isn't it?
Yep.
8. I'm happy with that.
7 plus. You apply impact as established, which again is enough to put them down. But 7 to 9 picks one cost of success. If they are unnamed, you and an item of relevant gear share 1 stress per NPC. There's only one of them, one each. So you can either stress your Kevlar vest, or you can take a point of stress. Sorry, 1 point of stress. Yeah.
I will stress the Kevlar armor.
Okay, fair enough. And within 20 minutes, we see you kind of carrying them off and handing them over to security. And then security says, but I don't understand why you needed the rebreathers, because you come out and you still have the masks on.
Oh, we were concerned that there might be, a carbon dioxide leak or something like that was affecting these two.
Okay.
We'll have to do some, extensive checks to make sure that isn't the case.
Well, I think the last move of this episode, short of deciding what you're going to do next, is going to be make or break, i.e. flush the systems to get rid of the evaporations out of that mineral, and or secure the mineral in a genuinely airtight container. Yeah. So let's have you make or break. I think you've got time to think about this. So roll plus sharp if you want.
Absolutely. Yes, please. And that's just straight. Yay, 10.
There
That's
you
what
go.
you want a 10 for.
7 plus, succeed. You would have advantage if you want to do anything else down the road, but no downside to that. You are no longer, and nor is anybody else, at risk of the psychotic effect of HCDA. But the question now is, what are you going to do next? Are you going to keep jumping to stay 1 ring gate or more ahead of the RGA, or are you going to spend some time here doing something?
Well, we
We
need
didn't
John.
come this far to get this far. That
We-
doesn't make any sense, but
I was going to say, I don't know what that means. You've come this far to get this far.
I don't think we can afford to keep on jumping. We need to be making some money.
Yeah, I agree.
And who knows what's at the next place, right? We can't, it's not like we can get to whatever the world is, the serpents, Jade Meadows.
yeah, the problem
Omega.
with you can't actually get to many places from here.
Well, we certainly can't get to Omega Anchor System, and if
But the good news is,
RGA,
the good news is that there's less RGA traffic through here as well,
yeah,
because it's a godforsaken shithole.
but we do actually still have some of that mineral, and maybe we can use that as a bit of leverage with the RGA too.
My question is, are you looking to find a job here or jump out?
Job, because you put some effort in, didn't you, Keel?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I've got
job.
some good leads.
Okay, so scraping by jobs, what are you looking for? And this is an in-system job, I'm hearing. You're not jumping out to have to jump back.
Oh, I mean, that's preferable. Ship and wealth.
What do you think?
Oh, well, no, because that's boring.
But
I was going to say, a thing you could do is we could take one of these, blue collar or white collar jobs, right? Get that 1 credit to bump us up to breaking even, and then take a mercenary job down on Gladius.
I actually kind of like that. Or we could do a cargo run, same thing. If it's in system.
Only if we're using our shuttle. I don't want to gain 1 and then spend it all fixing some part of a poor ship.
Good plan. I like it. Go for
Okay,
it.
so blue collar or white collar. The difference here is that getting paid doesn't depend on your hospitality. Instead, it depends on your physical capacity. In the case of, if it's a blue collar job, 1 member of the crew will roll with the lowest force, rolls plus force.
I mean, they are short of stevedores, aren't they, at the moment? They're all in the infirmary.
So, blue collar, the crew member with the lowest force rolls plus force. White collar, the crew member with the lowest sharp rolls plus sharp.
Well,
the worst, worst force is better than the worst sharp.
Yeah.
Let's get humping and dumping. Because I think we've wrote that story already, haven't we?
I can,
well.
yeah. I can imagine Keel whinging a lot because, he came up with this plan. Oh yeah, no, we should totally go and do this. It'll just be a few days of spreadsheets. It'll be fine. And then everyone's like, oh no. We're going to go
stripped to the waist, heaving chunks of stuff. Yeah. So who's got the lowest force? Actually, it's Gort or
And me.
Keel.
Yeah, we both.
But Keel is, Gort looks the part, so I'm going to
Yes.
have Keel make the roll.
Yeah.
Because looking at the picture, Keel's carrying a bit of weight, I think, to be honest. It's
Yes, Keel's. I mean, I think Gort and Keel probably are similar weights. Yeah,
just it's a different shape.
it's a different kind of weight. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, roll +0 to get paid.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Very
That is
close.
a 6. That
Can
is
anyone
a 6.
can
Yeah,
someone
I mean,
read?
it's not easy for me either.
No, so
So
you can try to help if you want,
yeah,
Gort.
I'll dig in.
No, that's not true. Anyone can try to help. There's no
Well,
reason
I
why
mean,
Serena
yeah,
shouldn't step up with a +1.
somebody's a lot better at helping than I am on this.
Yeah.
I think
So
so.
let me-
So what do we see, Keel, that means that you are going to be the weak link in this?
Oh, I think he's sweating just so much.
Yeah.
It's not that he's like, he's not weaker than Gort as such, right? Force wise, they're the same, but he's used to just floating around and bouncing off walls and this sort of stuff, and to actually be in gravity and hauling heavy stuff, he's pouring with sweat, and so he starts to
Dehydrate and
dehydrate.
I notice you slowing, and I say, "What are you doing? You're going to blow this job for us." And I shove a bottle of water into your hands. I say, "Take care of yourself and get back online as quickly as you can." And I scoop up his crate, and make off with it. Coming.
Yeah.
Roll +4, Serena, to help get
Right.
the crew out of this difficulty.
Nope.
Oh, seriously?
6.
It wasn't.
Oh my.
Sorry, another magic 6, guys.
This goes horribly pear-shaped.
This is, 6 clearly is the commonest number on these dice, whether they get a plus or not.
So the meeting doesn't go well, so you go to get paid, and the guy who's employed you as day laborer says, "I'm not paying you. You were slow, you dropped stuff. So that's going to be -1 to payment, which is a big fat 0. And I think that we can expect word that the crew of the Razor's Edge is still on the Ringate station to perhaps reach someone who matters. That was a great plan, sadly not well executed.
Don't look at me. I didn't roll any dice. There's those two.
So that was a great plan, to have credit in hand and jump out of system, but unfortunately it did not work. Physical labor is clearly not a thing you lot should be getting, focusing on. So do you want to find a different job?
Yes.
Okay, so putting white collar work to one side for similar reasons. Cargo run might just break even. Salvage job worth 2, rescue or recovery worth 3, investigative worth 4. What do you think?
I mean, we had a pretty good time with the investigative job before.
That's because
see what the Bene Gesserit
they paid the
have
most
to-
because they are the hardest. But all right, yeah, let's get the creds.
Okay, investigative job. Okay.
Investigate that radiation zone.
Well, far be it for me to suggest you may be anticipating my line here. But Keel, you did the work on the finding the biz, so you have advantage. It's 3 dice, top 2 +1 hospitality. As
I
you
mean,
oil the wheels with a bottle of Arcturan brandy.
Another 6.
This is inconceivable.
I've
I'm running out of costs of failure.
Yeah, this is scraping the bag at this point.
Okay.
I've managed with with advantage and a +1 to
To
twice fail.
Fail. Yeah, yeah. Well done. Well done.
Nice.
That is what this session will become known for. So on a on a 6 minutes, and as for 7 to 9, it becomes clear once the contract is signed and it's too late to back out that it's not entirely legal. So it should be worth +1 potential value on completion. So we are looking at an illegal investigative job again, but you won't necessarily know that until you get down, because this is on the planet. So
Can it involve shooting something? That's all I want at this point.
it's on Gladius. And the investigative job is from a a geological survey company,
Oh yeah.
and they have a survey team dispatched to the surface. So it's missing. It could be recovery, but they don't know. It could be that the atmospheric conditions down there are such that comms have been lost. Investigative is no, that better than that. They want you to be the survey team. You are going to be the survey team.
So you were given a bit more rescue there than survey.
I was, and I suddenly realized I couldn't parlay it away. So you need to go down and survey an area, a geological survey, to answer the question: is this area a good place to set up an on-planet trading station? Yeah. So you're going to go down to a planet that is racked by endless war. You are going to a location where initial suggestions suggest radiation may not be critical from the nuclear war that happened, a long time ago. And you're going to undertake a survey to see if the radiation is safe. Is the area safe for an on-planet trading post? Because at the moment, only some of these factions have established trading links with the rest of the cluster. And the hope is that maybe someone can make a killing selling slightly more advanced weapons, I think is the sense you get, which is why it is illegal. You are getting involved in breaking a cordon to keep advanced weapons off planet. Okay.
Yep.
But poor wealth not to be sneezed at. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it means we're going to get shot at.
Yeah. So yeah, because the 6- bit says, but the GM also surprises and disadvantages the crew with an extra complication before the contract can be fulfilled.
Hooray.
5 wealth. 5.
Say again?
It's 5 wealth, isn't it? Investigation is 4
4 + 1 5. Yeah.
and illegal.
You're quite right. You're quite right. So that I think is where we'll stop. Have we got time for a quick stars and wishes?
Not first. First, we're going to do XP.
Well remembered, Paul. I would never give people end of session XP if it wasn't having somebody to remind me. So let us start this time with Keel Beckett. Did your entanglement, was it relevant for good or ill?
There was a point where we said my entanglement, so that implies, I can't remember what it was, but that implies that I've got one for that.
Yeah, I think it was when you were the person who wasn't in debt to the flower, but you made it clear that you got away free and you did not yet. So I think you can have one for that. And did you aid or support a crew member or spotlight them?
We did a lot of aiding today. Did I aid someone else?
There was a lot of aid going around today, that was for sure. You are correct.
Um,
But did you spotlight? So I think there's some spotlighting going on.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, with that, blowing the lights. I think
Yeah.
that was given us in the front.
Oh yeah,
Us
yeah,
two
yeah.
in the front,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah.
I'd say that
Yeah.
spotlighted us.
That was-
and
that was-
where it helped.
aid and support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aid and support. Yeah.
I just realised, Alan, I could have clicked those when I did it, couldn't I?
Well, there is a reason those two little boxes are there.
Yeah, because I was wondering why do you have these two extra little boxes? I can just put it straight in the XP thing, but
So
right.
you
Well,
can
now
you
you
can
know.
now untick them and move them across to the other side. What about Gort? Entanglement was relevant for good or ill?
I mentioned pursuit, and that sort of drove me to run away.
Yeah.
That drove that plan. I
Yeah.
just stick straight in total
And aid and support?
yeah, I did do quite a bit of aid and support. Yeah, I mean, it didn't work, but yeah, there was a
But
lot
it's
going around.
the effort counts, so you can have one
Yeah.
for that. And what about Serena? Entanglement was relevant for good or ill?
Oh, yeah. Right at the beginning, if among other things,
Fine.
where it
And-
stormed out.
That's right. That's right. I aided and supported a crew member.
I did so
Yes.
much aiding and supporting.
Yeah, to no great benefit, but
Well,
nonetheless.
no, it worked once.
Yeah, and it's that one we want to focus on. Still time for a bit of stars and wishes. Teast, any stars, any wishes?
I just all round. I mean, we always say that, but I really felt like we were all leading into our characters and propelling the fiction forward in a fast but logical way for who we were. I thought that was really good. In terms of just a standout moment for me, I really loved Serena offering Keel the water bottle. I like that wouldn't have occurred to me at all. That was just nice little. I could exactly picture that scene. It was very nice.
Yeah, I'd agree. Any wishes for next time?
Oh, the obvious. I'd love to roll my dice slightly better.
Yeah, well, I mean and I look forward to you doing that. I will aim to provide you opportunities to do that, and I hope that you will do that. Brandon, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, I loved the blowing out the lights as a diversion. But I have to agree with Teast that it felt like everybody was taking a proper cinematic role all the time. The Gort trying to persuade the Union people to stand down. And just lots and lots of little things. And also a star for trying to make a friend at the bar and finding out that there's trouble back at the ship is so apropos of this genre, where it's like, okay, distracted in the middle of doing something by something that absolutely by an emergency. So I really like that.
Which you set up for me, so I thank you for that from last time, which was failing to properly secure the sample. So that was good.
Right. Well, that's what foreshadowing is for. And I was very happy to be able to get to plan this time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
because it's like that's half of what my character does, and
It
the
is.
other half is doing it.
Well, and that also worked really well, right? Again, coming back to the cinematic fiction, that that kind of propelled that direction, didn't it? It worked super well. Yeah.
Any wishes for next time, Brandon?
The one we're inevitably going to get, which is a firefight.
Okay. Paul, any stars, any wishes?
Yeah, really like the tight plan, from Brandon. Good tight plan. Everybody lent into it. A lot of dice going down the range today, for good or bad. But high pace. I think everyone lent into that. There was no sort of dawdling. And also from you got a bit of a lever at control speed, Alan, but it was at good high speed, I thought. Just as you sort of want some sort of, investigation could be slow, but it wasn't. It was nice and quick, so I like that. Wish going forwards, I would probably like to see some sort of more of the factions come out. We haven't seen a lot of factions. Week 3, we haven't seen too many.
Now, you've been focused a bit on 2 of them, so we'll see what we do with another one. Stars from me. I really enjoyed the way the plan worked. It is a move, I have to say, I'm very pleased with. I think it does a lot of work, and does propel a fiction, and you did all lean into it. Stars for giving me so many costs of failure to work with, which meant that the demonstrations, rapid decline into a riot was easy peasy lemon squeezy. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
I felt the characters began to kind of firm up today, and partly because of that little bit of physical labor at the end there. Wishes for next time. Find a way to bind. I don't want to fall back on the Neural Sisterhood as a faction to encounter on Gladius. I want to think about something else that can play a part there, but I don't know quite what yet. But yeah, we'll try and build a faction into next time. Okay, then with that, I will say goodbye to the internet and stop the recording.